is up with the squad? It's your favorite auntie with Uncle Tendency, Cess. I'm in the building with Coach Rowe. Cess Talk Sports presents now. Joining the conversation, Coach Rowe. What is good, fam? What's up?
What's up? Feeling good. Got a Detroit-based hat here, 313. Check them out, Detroit. Give me some more.
But y'all know how I'm feeling about 313. Y'all know how I'm feeling about 313. Y'all know how I'm feeling about 313. Rakia, stand up. Rakia, stand up. Put some respect on her name. I'm calling her TTG, Coach. You know what that means? Train to go. You hear me? Train to go. Drop back immediately into the hitman. Drop back immediately into the hitman.
And I'm glad you explained that, because that was a we're both
so sweet.
Yes, we're both from Michigan, Detroit. We both from Detroit. So let me explain.
Hand on my face and give me space.
Or are we gonna show
hand on my face and give me space? Let's go.
If we gonna show it, but if we don't, even if we don't, the fam know what we're talking about. Let me explain to y'all. Being in several combative situations, what that was. It's called gathering yourself, especially if the person on the opposite side of that combat is taller than you. You have to measure the reach. So when you're this close, elbows, fists, anything can hit you right away. You got to bag up. And if you notice, she bagged up and immediately in one motion was just like this to say, hey, what's going on here? She didn't go like this. She went like this. To stand up and say, okay, I'm ready for whatever you got coming my way. I'm gonna duck and weave or whatever I gotta do. That's what the setup was for. That was
because I'm gonna see your big long punch. So I'm gonna see that big long slow thing coming, and I'm gonna eat your ribs up. I'm too quick. Exactly. Ooh, I'm so sweet.
Exactly.
I'm so sweet. I'm too sweet.
And a piece that went underrated is BG showed her cards because she did the point. So it's like, now I know, oh, you gonna reach out. You did it right here. So let me get back, because you already pointed out like this is your next move. So your next move is you're gonna throw one. Let me back up and get ready for that.
Oh, listen. Immediately it was into the stance. Immediately it was in the stance, coach.
But
immediately it was in the stance. I'm disappointed because that was the last game in crypto. So she didn't get to say, at the crypto, I think they call it, didn't get to say goodbye to the fans. Was supposed to give away the shoes, Skechers shoes. Didn't get to do it personally. But I appreciated her being on the live after the game.
Okay.
I appreciated her being on the live after the game. I appreciated her letting her people know that she was from Eastside 7 Mile. I appreciated her letting the people know that if they wanted to come to Detroit, that she could teach her how to fight. You don't got to be scared about out here, okay? Rakia is that deal, and she been that hooper. Put some respect on her name. Listen,
I'm Eastside Detroit 7 Mile, by the way.
I'm west with 313. Stand up. That's right. You say you East 7 Mile, by the way.
All day.
Okay. So,
but and I know, Cess, I'm gonna go there because when I analyze video, I gotta understand you taking a free throw and how you didn't see what was going on, and you just kind of ran away from all the action. The person.
I don't know if they knew that it was action time.
Yeah, how do you not know though?
I don't know if Giroux knew that. I don't know.
If you take the free throw, you see right away, and I just look and I see.
Yeah, I don't know if they knew. I have to go back and analyze that. I didn't pay that much attention to that. I didn't pay much attention to that. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look.
Glad no one was hurt. Glad no one was hurt, but that was a clear. I'm a vet. I can do what I want.
I'm still not clear why Rakia was thrown out of the game. I don't know if it's because she bought up her fist, because the stance she took. I'm not sure. Why she was thrown out of the game. Why she was ejected.
The only thing I can think of is if they were more so like, well, if she stayed, will she get into it with somebody else? Which is not a reason to put her out the game, by the way, in my opinion.
Rakia don't bother nobody.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know about. I've seen it to me across all of the sports outlets. There seems to be a one kid cut up, slap everybody type of mentality. That's what it looked like to me. But if you were breaking that video down, BG threw the elbow. BG did the point.
On purpose.
Like this, and said,
on purpose, and said something to her.
Right.
As they do it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why
she already also had been kind of cooking on 20 minutes. She had 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal.
That's a good question. I wonder if I want to look deeper into that one. Why was she thrown out? Did the ref speak? If the ref spoke about why she was thrown out, Chad, I need to look into that.
Only thing I've been watching after the game was the altercation.
Did anybody else speak? Is what I want to know. Like, did anybody else close to it say, "Hey, this is what"? Because I saw Hamry get in there, and if that's the case, Hamry did the same thing that Rakia did. She pushed somebody off. Why didn't she get thrown out the game? Right? If we putting it on who's putting hands on who, I saw Hamry get in, which she should have for her teammate, and push BG off. Like, watch out. But I guess I'm just saying, if we're basing this ejection off of putting hands on one another, what are we doing here?
I just want to say this. I just want to say this too. I feel like the Midwest ladies issued a FAFO this week. Like Rakia was like, I'm TTZ, I'm trying to go. And Cody, don't put your hands on me, McMahon. Hey, Ohio and Michigan had something to say today. They had something to say this over this last week. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
There's a lot of respect, but look, we grew up in the middle. See, that's the thing. Look, let's say this. Let me say this to the chat fam. When you see this, okay, look, we went to a learning institution down south, and when we would tell people where we were from, and for Cess, it was two places where it was raised eyebrows. It was Detroit and Cali, like, oh, and it was always, oh, you from, and it's like the message was, if you mind your business, you just fine. We just don't play that. That's all. If you mind your business, you'll be okay.
Well, for me, it was Michigan. It was Michigan and Cali. Because I'm not from Detroit. I wasn't in Detroit.
Yeah. But it's like when you said that, the reaction, oh, and it's like, just mind your business. Mind your business and you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's so funny?
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not. If you go and you watch Rakia's video, if you go and you watch the live, so she's riding with Azure, right? And Azure, she's like, oh, I'm scared to come to the D. And she's like, what? Why are you scared to come to the D? And she's like, because it's rough there. She's like, what? Rakia says, if you mind your business. This is exactly what she said in the video. If you mind your business. She was like, yes, okay, it has some rough parts. But if you mind your business, and it is a mind your business kind of thing. It's not a lot of the first of all, the Detroit that people talk about isn't even like the Detroit now, right? It's not even like the Detroit now. And it's not as head on a swivel, so intense as people think. It's not a lot of random stuff that happens in Detroit. And what's funny is okay, so listen, I'm not gonna say that like the streets ain't the streets, and the streets is everywhere. The streets is the streets, and for the most part, street stuff stay street stuff, and it doesn't become what is it called, working man stuff, right? Street stay street, working man stay working man. But what's interesting about Detroit, and I don't know that people really understand it, is that a lot of the random stuff that happens, like the stuff that you hear about that happen like downtown or by the casino or during a firework, a lot of times those are people that have come into Detroit.
Thank you.
Those are people that come into Detroit and cause trouble. It's not Detroiters just in Detroit doing stuff like that. I don't know if people understand that. Like, maybe you got to be here. I don't know. Maybe you got to kind of be here to understand that, but because the news doesn't put it out there like that. Like, unless you follow the story all the way, then you figure out like these were some people that got caught. That was from somewhere else. They came here from somewhere else. So people, people from two different places ended up meeting here, and something happened. So I like to call that out and let people know that, like, yeah, the streets stay the streets, but the streets is the streets in every city that I've ever been to. Streets is the streets.
That's a good call, Cess. That's a great call. Even recent.
But
incident. There was a recent incident, horrible incident at a Lions tailgate. The person that did the shooting was someone from a suburb of Detroit. It wasn't they said the people from Detroit were the ones like, hey, calm down. It's not even like that. By the way, I don't want to get too much into it, but the altercation started. Guess what the Detroit people were doing? Put your hands up then. And the person from the suburb said, put their hands up and said, pow. That's what I do. That's what the person from the suburbs did. Okay. So getting to Cess's point, she's absolutely right. The depiction of it is but when you follow through with it, it's individuals in a lot of occasions that are visiting from
or have planned to meet here, or have planned to meet here in at an event at an event at a space, so I just I don't know that we call that out a lot. We kind of just let this reputation go on, and it is not it's not as random as you think, as far as like in the city. I mean, you look at the there was a lot of law enforcement in the city, but you look at like the draft was here. Most of the time you have Lions games, playoffs. Lions and games go off without incident. So a lot of stuff goes off without incident here. And so I just wanted to call out that, like, yeah, we get a bad rap sometimes, but it really, when you look at a lot of the stuff, it's not it's not Detroiters. It's people that have come into the D.
And let me say this, Ash. Remember when we shared, when you was like, hey, jump on. I was leaving the Tigers game. I was by myself. And because I had a little system where I park like blocks away from the stadium. So I'm walking on dark streets, chains on, by myself, live streaming, and didn't have not one worry. And we're talking about downtown near the stadium. I was FaceTiming the chat fam like, hey, I wasn't on there like, hey, hold on, y'all. I was perfectly comfortable. So the point I'm making is, if you walking around mean, mugging, grimming, and stuff like that, you're going to find some trouble. But for the most part, no. I mean, and then you got to know where to go. Now, in some areas, I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm big bad. Nah, in some areas, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to go there because I know what time it is. But those aren't the places that visitors frequently stumble upon. Like Cess mentioned, most of the action happens downtown at the events and stuff like that. And most of those seats are taken up.
You don't happen by street business because it ain't your business. Exactly. It's money your business. You don't happen by street business because it ain't your business. So, for the most part, I wanted to call that out. But I
was going to ask about her live. I got to go back and watch that because I follow her and I didn't get an alert. So now I'm a little upset.
She did. She had a live. She was on a live, and it's on YouTube. She talked after. She didn't talk about the incident really after the game, but was on some live.
Nothing. That's another trait of a Midwestern. That ain't nothing. What you talking about that for? Not a big deal. Because if I'm really about that action, if you invited me to the tunnel, I'm going to meet you there. And guess what? It's on site whenever I see you now. It's on site. Red carpet, blue carpet, orange carpet. Oh, hold on. Wait, says
wherever it is, it's on site now.
One thing. So hold on. I got an alert on my phone, and I knew this was coming, but it hurt me a little bit. That Portland's getting this team before Detroit. I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole presentation about the team.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Shout out Portland. Congratulations to Portland for getting a team.
Yes.
Shout out to the Sports Brawl. The women sports focused bar in Portland that I believe had a big stake in helping Portland get a women's basketball team back. I'm just learning more and more about the franchise. I'm learning more and more about the franchise and what they do. Excited to see how they grow. They had a party last night for the opening, the announcement of them getting the team.
Yeah.
And just shout out to the Sports Bro. I don't have an affiliation with them, but started hearing the name earlier in women's college basketball. And I think it was Robbie the Fat Funk. Robbie the Fat Funk, I think brought the info and was talking about just the Sports Bra and how dedicated they were to showing women's led sports and just showing the passion and the hype. The hype and the love for the women's game. I think really went a long way in helping get get that organization back in Portland. And I mean now we have to we have to do a better job in Detroit of showing that we're interested and worthy of a second chance, like that it could work here this time. Uh, it probably doesn't help that the Pistons are in the shape that they're in right now.
Right. It's almost like okay,
but
yeah,
we do have a big three. We do have a big three team here that'll be based in Detroit now. So we'll be able to kind of follow the big three. We got to show our love for women's hoops. We got to really show our love for women's hoops.
Yeah. And it's there's a passion here, and and again, I can only be biased because because we're here. We have a lot of talent in this here women's basketball. So much talent that we've admitted on the airwaves, we missed them because they're coming so fast. As far as like the talent that's being developed in these school districts. So we're making a concerted effort now. You saw the interview, even though that young lady's not from the Detroit metro area with the young lady, we're gonna start doing that. Like we need to start talking to these young ones early because there's some greatness that's brewing in the Detroit metro area for this women's hoops. And it's gonna take pioneers like Rakia and players like that to kind of reach back out to these young ladies, and we're gonna have our ears to the street because we're pretty sure she'll be back. She'll be here sometime after the season doing some type of camp or something, and we are gonna make sure that we're right there to say, hey, some type of coverage or something to try to get somebody on the show or something to advertise it for basketball. Okay, this isn't even about the show. This is about improving the awareness and the quality, which is one of the main things of our platform is promoting women's sports, like Seth said. So just looking forward to that. And I mean, look at what's going on now. All this hoops is about to happen, the playoffs. I mean, I'm excited. This is about to be one of the best playoff seasons that we've seen in a long time. So get ready for that.
He says it's going to be one of the best in a long time, huh? You excited?
I do, and I am.
So I'm going to tell you somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say something, and this is my fault. And Coach doing all this talking. I'm gonna tell you that I got to get out, and it's a class of 2027 player. I'm not sure how to. I believe it's CC or Rico. Offered class of 2027 offered by South Carolina, offered by the Don Staley out of Detroit Country Day School. And so I have a responsibility to get my eyes on CC Rico out of Detroit Country Day School, 5'11" guard, offered July of 2024 to South Carolina women's basketball team as a target. So that's a 2027 target. I want to know that I want to get over and check this young lady out. Yeah, we want to see her up close. We want to see her up close. We want to talk to her. We want to excited to have somebody out of Detroit targeted by the Don Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks. So, want to throw that out there, Coach. I wasn't sure if you was aware of that.
Wasn't aware of that.
Do some
follow her
there and see what we can find out. But so before we coming into the end of the season, Rakia, we were talking about Rakia. I wanted to just say, as we come into the end of the season, the last half of the season. So coming back into the season after the Olympic break. I want to say, Rakia, listen, 13, 13, 15, 14, 17, 25, 19, 13, 5, 17, 23, 16, 22, 22, 8. Those are points over the last half of the season, every game. Played in every game this season, didn't start every game. A lot of those games were losses, but it wasn't Rakia causing those losses. Excellent second half of the season for me. Um, not enough coverage, not enough coverage. I'm not gonna stop shouting her name. Um, Looking forward to what she does next season. But listen, this rookie right here, trained to go. Tough, 6'2", 175. And it wasn't until I saw her standing next to other players that it was like, oh wow, uh, Key is smaller than I thought. So I'm expecting her to do some strength and conditioning type training, a little bit stronger in the core, gonna bang with him a little bit more, gonna finish a little bit even better at the basket. Will be even better. Looking forward to seeing her play in Unrivaled. I'm really excited about the Unrivaled. Um, this is going to be an opportunity for people to really, really, really get acquainted with her game, because I think she has a game that plays really well in the 3-on-3 half court. So, looking forward to that. But wanted to just get your feeling over Kia's season here and going into the summer as we go into the last game of the season tonight.
So here's my take on it. Early on, I'm still trying to figure out if the game was moving too fast or if Rakia was moving too slow. She didn't look comfortable at the very beginning of the season, which is typical of a rookie, okay? Towards the middle, like you mentioned, right before break and after it, it's been nothing short of great play by Rakia. But I think that, and this is just, and I continue to say this, the Sparks have to make a decision. Who's going to be the leader on this team? Meaning, who are you running the majority of your plays for? Who are you, setting your screens for? I do think that the Unrivaled is going to be a great opportunity to see just how busy she can get in a three-player set. And why not have some of those same type of plays even with 5 players on the floor? Because, again, I have yet to see a true weakness in her game aside from her physical size. She can handle the ball. She rebounds. She plays defense. She can score with both hands. Her jumper is actually better than I thought it was. As far as like when she ends, this is underrated. And if you ask any pro in the league, she came to the league with a midi, which is very uncommon with rookies coming in. Hitting a midi, that's a very difficult shot to come in and feel comfortable taking with ease. And she does it frequently. Like right above that free throw line is money. And I've seen her do the variations of where she'll take one more step in and lob that up with one hand and it's going in. So it's like, I think that really the Sparks have to make a decision on, because remember, Brink is coming back. Right now, when you look at the Sparks, it's almost like they're trying to force an inside-out team, but they're not built for an inside-out team. Just my opinion. No disrespect to Hambry. I like Hambry, but it needs to be, if you're going to run, especially on that West Coast, that type of style, I think that Rakia's style is pretty much very hard to match up with in that type of pace of game if you let her just play her game and let her loose. Let her loose. I mean, I'm even looking at, is she kind of one of those point forwards? Is she a combo guard? Because she can handle the ball. Put the ball in her hands and let her go to work. Yeah, she can run off screen, she can catch and shoot, but she seems to be more deadly when she has the ball in her hands. So it's like, that's what I think. I'm waiting to see what they're going to look like next season. As far as like their personnel, their packages, if it's going to be the same personnel, are you going to surround her with some more shooters to spread the floor to get her more ISO and one-on-one? That's what I want to see. But yeah, I'm very, very, I'm pleasantly surprised with how she's playing now. But I actually thought that, I guess, wishful thinking that she would come in right away doing this, but she's a rookie. So it's like, you had high hopes. I mean, remember when we watched the draft, I remember I said, this right here is going to be the best player in this first round. this is going to be the best player in this first round, just based off of what she did at Tennessee, her skill set, and how she could score from all areas of the floor and do things, with the ball. So it's like, that's what I'm curious to see. Her strength and conditioning, that's gonna come. That's gonna get there. But we see she got the dog in her.
Yeah, you ain't gotta worry about that. And yeah, coming in, she had the best WNBA ready game coming into the league.
And her teammates took notice of that. You stood up to BG, okay?
Well, the league took notice.
Yeah, they like, oh, wait a minute, this rookie something different.
But I think they had already been taking notice. They had been taking notice. I saw like Skylar have a great conversation. It looked like with Rakia. I thought, Asia with the 2 times if you need to get out of LA. So we saw some vets show Rakia some love. So scuffles happen. It was unfortunate, but I thought, while we were talking about her and it was the end of the season, why not?
Exactly.
Talk about kind of how this thing was breaking down. But what would you say for the game's coming up tonight? Let's get your predictions real quick.
Yeah, I was just looking at
and after I get your predictions, I just want you to give like your overall thoughts on this season. It seems like it started just the other day. And Coach, I gotta say, like I don't know, the 24th. The 24th is 1 year. 1 year Cess Talk Sports. 1 year Cess Talk Sports on the 24th. So 1 year we cut this thing on and went live, and then it'll be
amazing.
I think it's the second. The second will be the I think it's December 2nd is the now doing a conversation 1 year. I gotta check.
Amazing though.
Or maybe October 2nd. Our 1 year is coming up too. We gotta get together and get something planned. But look back at this year and let me know what you think. But first up, let me know who you got in these games. Okay. Chicago, Connecticut. And a lot of players are being rested. So like Asia's not playing. I think Jewel is out. And I'm concerned when I ask you about Jewel, I'm hearing about the knee. I want to know, are we rested and they'll be ready, or is there a chance that Jewel's not going to play in that first round? So a lot of players not playing tomorrow for rest. Connecticut, Chicago, who you got?
Okay, Connecticut, Chicago. I'm going to go with Connecticut just because Chicago is depleted. The injury bug hit them at a very inopportune time. Very unfortunate for them. And I'm gonna say this. I'm not, as much of a Sky fan as as a lot of as my colleague and other affiliates of the show. But I think that there's a light at the end of the tunnel on what happened to them this season. This is going to help them grow. It's going to help them grow. And I think that the culture of this team has been built now. I think it's been built like, hey, we're tough, we're gritty, we're not taking it, So, okay. But I got Connecticut in this game. Connecticut has, to me, the stronger reserve players, and they got players that's auditioning potentially for other teams, because this team is going to be, in my opinion, championship or bust. I know I say that a lot, but I really, really mean it with Connecticut. So that's my take on that game.
Okay. I'm going to skip. I'm going to take your teams last. So Indiana, Washington.
I'm going to go with Washington. I think Indiana.
Oh, wait, let me say this. I'm sorry. Yeah. And I'm going to go. I'm staying with the Sky. I'm a Sky fan. I'm rocking the Sky.
Okay.
So Indiana, Washington.
I'm going to go with Washington just because, again, like you mentioned, I think that Indiana has their spot solidified. It's not going to change. I think they're going to play their starters, but I don't know. I didn't see any report on who's resting. I think they're going to rest their starters a lot because they're going to need it. They're going to need to rest because it looks like, correct me if I'm wrong, Cess, they'll be matched up against Connecticut in the first round. So have fun with that. But I got Washington winning that again because Washington has a handful of players. It's like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen to me next season. So, this is my chance to get on the floor. Didn't get a lot of time maybe before. Get looked at by some other teams. We're going to see a merry-go-round of some different players getting there. LA, Minnesota. I'm going. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to take Washington in that game too. And then go ahead, Sparks, Minnesota.
I'm going to go with LA.
Coming back, when I say I told you, I don't want you to be like, well, you didn't say that. So I got to make sure I get my picks on the video.
Because I will do that.
Yeah, you be acting funny. Yeah, Sparks, Minnesota. I'm going Sparks.
Yeah, I'm going Sparks with this game. Again, I think they're gonna, and let me say this: even if Minnesota didn't rest their players, the momentum of what Rakia just did, I think is going to carry over. They're going to be fired up. I think they're going to get off to a very fast start in this game. I got the Sparks.
Dallas, Las Vegas.
I'm going with Dallas because Vegas doesn't care about this game. And I'm not saying they don't care, like, as far as, like, don't care about the game of basketball, nothing like that. Vegas is getting ready for the playoffs. Vegas is getting ready for a monumental 3 in a row. Did the Comets do that? Correct me if I'm wrong. I know they got 4. Did they get 3 in a row? I can't remember if they got 3 in a row or not. They got 4 in a row. Okay. Vegas is chasing history. I think right now Vegas is like, look, I don't care where we are in the playoffs. We're still the best team. We're still the team to beat. And I think that's the attitude tonight. Rest your starters. Everybody rest up. Gumawale, keep breaking records. Keep doing what you do. I got Dallas in that game.
Seattle, Phoenix.
I'm going with Seattle because Seattle is still figuring out lineups. I think they're going to be the only team to play their starters more than anybody else of these teams is already in the playoffs. Yes, they're getting ready for Vegas. Yes, Jewel Lloyd is resting. I think Jewel Lloyd is resting. I don't think is she banged up? Of course. I mean, all the players are banged up. I think it's an extra precaution for Jewel Lloyd to rest as much as possible. Now, here's what's interesting. I think the Gabby Williams effect is going to lighten the load on Jewel getting as many minutes. So if there is a more significant injury, they have the perfect combination of Gabby being in there that can kind of compensate for her not playing as many minutes, if that makes sense. Meaning she come in 6 minutes, go sit down. Gabby can cover those minutes, But I don't think the injury is as bad as I originally thought. I think that she's just getting that well-needed rest because, let's talk about it. Everybody knows Seattle's one of my teams. They have 3 of the top 20 players in the WNBA right now, in my opinion. 3 of the top 20. You have a chance to beat anybody when they're playing 100% and on their best. And you add a player like Gabby Williams, didn't even mention Izzy.
Ezzy's not playing. Ezzy's out.
It's not okay. So I'm looking for Seattle to win this game, though. I think they're gonna win this game. I think Phoenix.
I'm not a fan of either.
Yeah.
You said Phoenix checked out, and they got to get ready for the playoffs.
I think it's similar. I think they're vets on that team. I think they're thinking about, okay, who's our first matchup? Let's go. Who's our first matchups? That's what I mean by that. I think they're ready for the playoffs to start like yesterday because they're matched up against.
Let me say this. I think first of all, I think Phoenix been showing fraud. I think they've been losing. They could if there was some more games left. If there was some more games left in this season, they would be in danger of not being in the playoffs. I don't know what's wrong with their chemistry over there. I really am a big fan of Big Foe Senior, Kalia Copper, KFC. I'm a fan of KFC. I like Natasha Cloud as a guard. Natasha Mack. I like what Natasha Mack does, but. I'm straight on Phoenix. I'm straight on Phoenix. 3-1-3, stand up. I stand with Rakia. I can't even believe me. There's no way I could even cheer over there. No, thank you. I was very disappointed. Just even as an ambassador of the game, that behavior with a rookie, just to me, like you make a better decision, especially after like your story, your narrative, and everything that you've been through. Like, I think you have a responsibility to show up different in that moment, but I digress. But yeah, I'm gonna go with
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle. Not that I'm a fan, but I really do like Jordan Horston. I hope Jordan gets to play. I'm hoping that Nikki Mule gets to play. Nikki Mule has not been able to score in the regular season. Can she get an opportunity to get some points on the board? It's one of those games that Nika should be able to play in. So she's been on the bench all year, been a good sport about it. Let's let her play. A couple other players, that I like over there, but I won't get into that. Atlanta, New York Liberty. Let's talk about that. And let's talk about it because I want to know from your standpoint, is it better? Because this is looking like it'll be the matchup if everything plays out how we think, right? So Atlanta shows up to be that first round matchup.
Uh-huh.
New York, do you show up and start the series tonight?
No.
And show like we're here to win, or do you not do anything? You don't show your card. Everybody plays crazy.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's going, we gonna do rope a dope, and then we'll see you in the what is that? And then your pick there?
So I'm gonna go. Of course, I think even the reserves.
And I'm going Dream. I'm going Dream.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I think even the reserves of New York can beat the Dream. I'm going with New York, but I think there's going to be some Jedi mind games being played on this by the coach. I think the coach is going to play. She's not going to play her starters as much as she can, and I think there's going to be like one of those. Okay, we're not going to show you how we're going to, really give you this work when the playoffs start. I can see some experimental things going on. I can see JJ probably shooting 5 or 6 threes. I think it's going to be like, hey, kind of like hang loose, let your hair down, no pun intended. Let's just play, and let's get some of our bench, because right now I think that's the focus. I've been seeing a lot of incorporating of the bench with New York, which is what I like to see. They know they have to be at least 9 guaranteed deep to make the run for the championship. So I think New York wins this. They edge this out, not playing the starters a whole lot. But no, they are not going to show the full arsenal against Atlanta. They want to hit Atlanta.
I don't know.
Like a freight
I just
train
don't know, Coach.
in the playoff start. They want to hit them like a freight train. They want to crush any dreams when the playoffs start, no pun intended, in the first game. They want to beat them by a lot in the first playoff game to send a message. I don't think that this is the message for tonight. I think that's coming in game 1. Just my thoughts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think so. For me, it's like I get it, but I also saw Stewie play and scored 38, go for 38 and 18 in a losing effort in a game that didn't mean anything, because you've already solidified one, and you can't win. You can't set the wins record, right? So that made me feel like Stewie is like, we're gonna leave no doubt. We went into this. We went into the playoffs last year, and I'm just wondering if they feel like they need to keep this thing going and go into the playoffs hot. And with all clicking on all cylinders or whatever, and have that momentum. Also, because it's at Barclays, do you want Tina Charles? Because it's just not just any team that's coming in right now. This is Alicia Gray is a national champion. Ryan Howard is who Ryan Howard is. Jordan Kennedy is who Jordan Kennedy is. Tina Charles is who she is. Do you want them to feel like, oh, we just came here and beat you at the crib?
That's a great point.
We just won here last week. You know what I mean? Like,
point.
so I don't. So and to me, Atlanta could be a sneaky type of different kind of matchup for the Liberty, right? I think there's some athleticism at the guards that New York couldn't necessarily match, right? And then I know people would be like, well, Sabrina Ionescu, right? Like Sabrina. But I would have to say that the defending 3-point champion would be Alicia Gray, and an Atlanta Dream and an Atlanta Dream player. So, where there's other teams that could be like, well, then, we could just go to Ionescu. I don't know. And then, crafty veteran Tina Charles, been playing pretty well here. So, I just wonder, to give them that feel like I just came in here, even if it's against your reserves. I just won here.
And it's interesting that you said it, because I hope I'm wrong, but I suspect tonight, and I joked before when I said it, but now that I'm thinking about it, you might see JJ on the perimeter a lot, pulling Charles away from the rim. And I don't think that's a good game plan. I just don't, because then that leaves Ryan Howard down there, and that's how the Dream lulls you to sleep. They absolutely punish teams on the boards. They punish people down low. And that's one of my fears, as I said, with even if it would have been Chicago. Remember I said I don't like the matchup. Scrappy, big post player teams pose a problem for the Liberty, because their counter to that is, yeah.
I'm sorry, I got to throw one more thing in there.
Yeah, go ahead.
So they signed the player from Nigeria, number 23 from the Olympics. The Dream did. How does that factor into how they'll match up?
I would have to look at her. I don't know.
Do you remember who I'm talking about?
No, I don't. I know. She a combo guard? Is she a forward? Is it more size? Because if it's more size, that could be a problem.
I think when you see her picture, you'll remember. I'm gonna share my screen.
Oh boy.
You remember the Nigerian team, right?
I do.
Okay. This is who they signed.
Oh, the one. That's the one that they got into it with that shot the layup?
That's the one.
Oh.
They got deeper. They got deeper.
So
fiery, passionate.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Dream have nothing to lose.
That's a spark. That's a spark off the bench. That's a spark off the bench.
I'll say that's a great Swiss Army knife and a pace changer. So okay, they just showed their hand, which credit to the Dream. Okay, I was tough on the Dream. Y'all know that. Did a whole song about him, clowned him, you know. But what I'll say is this:
it was deserved at that time.
It was. I think with that signing, it sounds like they want to run, which is kind of the kryptonite to New York. New York is not a running team. They're a fast-paced team, and that is not the same thing. They're a secondary fast break, opportunistic running, but they are not a run up and down the floor type of team. You got Gray, you got Ryan, and now you got this guard from they're going to try to run. They're going to try to speed the pace of this game. They have nothing to lose. Why not? Because they're high in reboundings. They're going to do a lot on the board. So it's going to be interesting. So, Seth, you might be.
I don't want to. I just want to. I keep reminding people that 2024 has been the year of Alicia Gray. She won everything. Yeah. AU, All-Star, 3-on-3. I mean, 3-point champion. Like, just saying.
So this is going to be.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Playoffs will be fun.
I think the flow of the game is going to determine. So, for example, okay, if Atlanta comes out with a set that New York didn't anticipate, and they start running and start, really beating up on the Liberty, I fully expect for the Liberty to take their foot off the gas and say, "Okay, let's relax. They got us, but we can't be out here full steam and get whooped." I fully expect to be like, and then be on some. Well, we wanted to rest our players. The other scenario,
again.
Yeah,
you want them in there to get that win and see that win in Barclays.
Right. But I can see that being a scenario, though. I can see literally if they come out there like that with that type of pressure, because to me, this sounds like Atlanta Dream saying, defense, defense, defense. We are going to defend. And the only two players that can really get their own shot and slash and get there is Stu and Laney. They're the only two that can.
I might let Stewie go off and just and clamp Laney.
Right. But like I said, I hate to be a broken record. There's two keys, Laney and JJ. Those are the keys for the Liberty. Those are the keys. JJ, don't come out here jacking up all them threes, because the worst thing that happens when she jack up threes is when she make the first one. She's guaranteed to take 4 more in the game. Drives me crazy. Laney, when you hit your shot, and you hit your average, the Liberty are almost unbeatable.
Absolutely.
Because she's guarding. Okay, who does Laney Hamilton guard? Ryan?
You can try.
Who guards Gray? That's cool.
Stop it.
I'm just saying.
Who's gonna guard Jordan Canada?
Oh.
Who's guarding Canada? So Got to see.
And
like I said, there's some athleticism out here.
I know we're about to wrap up, but here's what my fear is this. I don't want Atlanta to figure it out playing against the Liberty, because they're one scheme away from figuring out a formula to be very effective. Oh, Canada. I like her.
Yeah, okay. Azim Kalu. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but yeah, I'm interested to see what she does in Atlanta. It's funny because Atlanta was one of the teams I said at the beginning of the season. I was looking at Atlanta, Dallas, Vegas, and picked up Chicago.
You did?
Said Washington was not a trash team. Here they are, could be in the playoffs if they finish this thing right. So there's some good basketball here. Happy to see the regular season wind down, getting ready to get back into women's college hoops and where we started. I got you on camera, so I have to make you promise to it now because you're on camera. I told everybody that we would do a VIP live with all of the co-hosts.
Oh,
all of the co-hosts on the screen at one time for a VIP.
exciting! That's gonna be interesting.
So I just got Coach to agree. This should be fun. Coach and MJ Lover and Coach Coleman and Juju.
Lava. Gotta get that right. You gotta get that right now.
All on the screen at one time, having a good time. So we gonna make that happen. As we get ready to get out of here and get ready to get the playoffs started.
Yes.
We will get with Coach's schedule and get him up for live to hang out with us for a couple playoff games or so, at least one, if he's not too busy. But looking forward to it. Looking forward to everything and stuff we got going on. Right, keep your stance up. Trying to go 3-1-3. Stand up, Coach. Before we get out of here, what you got?
So shouts out again to the chat fam. We are looking forward to the playoffs. It's going to be some great basketball. We're going to give you some of the angles that others cannot do. We have the best chat fam in the world. Our chat is better than yours. Stay tuned. Coach Rowe Official on all platforms. And that's it. That's all I got for you.
And with that, y'all, it's your favorite RT with Uncle Tendencies. Until next time, stay tuned. Talk soon, y'all. We out.